Hey, welcome to Growth Rising. I'm Bird, and on this channel, we talk about all things dealing with astrology. We've been going over the birth chart. Well, we've been going over the 12 houses in the birth chart, and we went over the first 10. Now we're going to go over the 11th one. But to find your specific birth chart, you can go into Google, type in birth chart calculator, how to calculate my birth chart for free. And the only thing that you'll have to know is like your birthday, the place and the time, so that you can get, your rising sign and, your midheaven, IC, DC, all of that. And you'll know which sign rules what houses and also what planets are in what house, which will also help you to find out more about you, because it's like sometimes we know that we are certain ways and we don't quite get it, but then you can probably see, oh, I have Pluto in my first house or something. Like, okay, well, that makes sense why people always think that I have RBF or whatever. But um yeah, so today we're going to be going over the 11th house, and the 11th house is the house of community, like with friendships and organizations and, you know basically a community. The 11th house is ruled by Uranus and Aquarius. And I know, excuse me, Aquarius is one of those signs that has two rulers, but the 11th house is ruled by Uranus. And we're going to see more about that. Okay, like I was saying, the 11th house does deal with um, friends and organizations, but it also deals with like social causes and politics. And if your 11th, like if you have a lot of planets in your 11th house, you will probably be shown, like you'll show more characteristics of that 11th house. You could um have an interest in ecology or, something like that. Um the 11th house also deals with the internet. And another thing with the internet is that the 11th house definitely deals with social media, because I mean, come on, the community as well as the internet, you put those together and you basically have social media. And so those are also things that, people associate with the Aquarius. Also, Aquarius are like a futuristic sign, if that's the best word to use for it. But sometimes Aquarius, it's like they are before their time, or they are they're ahead of a lot of other people. Sometimes they might be deemed as crazy or genius, but the 11th house also deals with, the future and basically how we see our future or what we want in our future. And also it deals with big goals and new ideas and new discoveries, you know, just basically finding out new stuff or planning to reach new heights. Because, in the 10th house is where we basically shine. We can, that can be our career, we can shine there and all of that. But in the 11th house, now we're taking that and making connections. So, like let's say you decide to join an organization, and now you're in this organization and you're making connections with other people because you eventually want to be a lawyer or work at this specific law firm. Now you're in this organization, so you can make the connection with these different people so that you can make sure that you get to the spot that you want to be in. That's kind of something what the 11th house deals with. And also the 11th house deals with going your own way. In the 10th house, it's like, Saturn is like, let's go with the rules, let's follow the law. The 11th house is like, okay, I understand the rules and the law, but now I got to create what's best for me. You know, maybe it's not always seemed the best way to show up to a function that you weren't invited to, But the 11th house is like, you know what? I heard about this function. I wasn't invited, but I know that people who I need to be in contact with are going to be there. So I'm going to show up and introduce myself to these people so that I can get my name out there and I can get to this law firm or to this party or whatever it is that you're trying to get to. Because do keep in mind, like I said earlier, the 11th house does deal with big goals. Like, let's say you want to end up being a partner at this law firm, or you want to start your own business as a party planner or something, and you got to get in contact with certain people. That's why the 11th house is like, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I do this so I can get there. See, in the 10th house will be thinking more like, I wasn't invited, so I'm not going to go, but I'm going to try to get invited. The 11th house is like, bump that. I don't care if I wasn't invited. I got to get there because it's not going to stop me from getting to my goal, whether I was invited or not. I hope all that makes sense. Let me get back on track. Like I was saying, 11th house wants to break free from the rules. 11th house is about making social connections because, I mean, it's dealing with community. So we got to make sure that we have a community to deal with whenever, we're talking about the 11th house. And also social causes. I'm just trying to make sure that I went over everything I wanted to, because, sometimes I go off on a tangent and I just have to make notes to make sure that I'm staying on track. Yeah, I think I covered everything that I meant to, but I also want to let you guys know that you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Growth Rising. And also, if you found any value in this video, give it a thumbs up or even a comment, just to let me know what you thought about it. And I hope that you have a good one. Bye.